Hi, welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you are a repeat visitor, thank you so much for coming back. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by and welcome. Today's video is a video that's specifically for a client, a very dear client of mine, based on something that she had asked about. And I'm very remiss in getting the information to her, and I feel really bad. So my apologies, sweetheart. You know who you are. I was going to text the information, and I realized, well, why not just make a video and then post it so that anyone who needs this information, it's accessible. Today, I'm going to be talking about spiritual cleansing and how to make a spiritual cleansing bath, a specific one. I'm not going to actually assemble the bath. Maybe I'll do that in a video at some point, but I'm not going to actually assemble the bath. I'm going to tell you exactly what ingredients you need, how to use it, why you would want to use it, and the benefits from doing so. So this is a Haitian style, a Haitian voodoo bath. It is anyone who is, whether you're in the traditions or not, whether you follow them, anyone's welcome to use these ingredients. You're going to need water, tap water, spring water, distilled water, just water. Measure with your heart. I would say for one bath, anywhere between 12 to 16 ounces is applicable, is appropriate. I oftentimes will measure and just use this giant measuring cup and measure in there. So about 12 to 16 ounces for one bath. Also, you're gonna need a lime, a fresh lime, and you wanna get the freshest, prettiest lime that you can find. It's that life energy of the plant. You're going to need fresh basil. I get this from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has some of the best, well, I love shopping there, but I find that their basil is so beautiful and very, very fairly priced. Now, let's talk about this basil that you see here. This basil is about a week and a half old, so it's not the freshest one in town, but would I still use it if I needed to? Yes, because the leaves haven't gone black. It's just looking a little worse from the wear, but I probably, if I put this in a bowl of water in a cup with some water, cut the ends off, this would refresh back up. But you want a nice amount of fresh basil. This is not something where you can use dried herbs. And I would say what's in here, let's see. I would say what's in here for a bath, I would use probably for one bath, probably about this much. So you want a nice handful of basil. Don't really want the stems. If it has any flowers on it, you can use those. But you got your fresh basil. So you've got your lime, your holy water. I'm sorry, that's coming up. Your lime, your water, your basil, your holy water. Holy water from a Catholic church. Now, Botanicas sometimes will have holy water that you can purchase at a Botanica. I only get mine from a Catholic church. This is water from St. Louis Cathedral. And if you've never been into a Catholic church, just go in respectfully, put some money into the collection box, and you can bring your own container and fill up your holy water. I oftentimes will keep it in this. This is a very close, very special relationship with the Blessed Mother, and this is a holy water container. So I've had this for a while. I actually found this at a charity shop in Seattle, a thrift store in Seattle, and had to have it because I love the Blessed Mother. But this is a holy water container, so you can keep it in this just to show you. It doesn't matter what you keep it in. You have a mason jar, great. You got the Blessed Mother, great. Holy water. And the last component you're going to need is Florida water, which I have used a lot. As you can see, this is almost empty. Florida water is something that we use a lot in the African traditional religions, or ATRs. It is a cologne, as you can see, and it has been around for probably, I don't know, 150 years. And it's from a company out of New York. People started to realize that when they would have ceremonies where they would honor the spirits, we have different fetes and parties and huge celebrations where we're honoring spirits, and people started to realize that the people who had on Florida water as a cologne are the ones that the spirits were most active around. And so it became a very important, and to this day is a very integral part in different voodoo ceremonies, and also a lot of cleansings where it is used. So a quick little bath you can do, put the Florida water in your hands, a little bit in your hands. It's not so much about how the dampness, it's the fragrance. It's a very bold, fragrant, strong fragrance. So you would envision scooping and pulling that down, shaking down, brush down, come to the back of your neck, brush down. If you've been around somebody's negative, you're stressed, a little something to cool down. Literally, it does bring down your temperature. It's alcohol, high alcohol content. Rub your hands, shake. Sometimes I snap, clearing the energy around myself. Few deep breaths. It really helps to shift the energy. So that can be just like a little quick spritz that you could use. Or if you're going to do the full bath, like what we're talking about today, then I would say this bottle is 7.5 ounce size. So you can get about three baths out of this size. They do sell it in a larger size, which would probably get about 4 baths. Or you could then have enough that you use for a bath and then have some in a spray bottle. It's not what's in here, but you could have some in a spray bottle that you use to kind of spritz. It will help it to last longer, and it's also really effective to be able to spritz it, because again, it's not about the moisture, it's about the fragrance. It's a blend of different botanicals, different floral essences and citrus and some cinnamon and different spices in there, all things that are used to repel negative energy, because it's a very bright, uplifting, fresh kind of a fragrance. And so the vibration of anything that's negative is repelled by anything that's that bright and uplifting. You use your Florida water, your holy water, your regular water of about 12 or 6 ounces of the regular water, your basil, and your lime. And when you're breaking up the herbs, you want to, when you're setting everything up, have everything you need. This is a basin, which is oftentimes used, but you don't have to have this. This is something that I also will use if I don't use my measuring cup. I do like to have the measuring cup because it does have a pour spout, and it does make it easier when you're applying the bath down your body, because this is a standing bath. Even we call it a bath. This isn't a sit down in the tub bath. This is a standing bath. And the last thing you're going to need is a tea light. Any white candle is fine. I like to use tea lights for this because you can very gently, when you're finished creating the bath, you can very gently place it on the top of the water and it will float. If you have we call them chime candles, the mini taper candles, if you have a 7-day candle, if you want to use, you can use that. For this purpose, tea lights are my favorite option. So as you're putting everything into, you're in your kitchen, you're assembling your bath, you already want to have your headspace in the place of what your intention is. So you already want to start bringing your mind to removing negative energy, cleansing. And what is negative energy? It could be a lot of different things. Is that stress? Is that doubt? Is that someone living rent-free in your head? Is that you work around a lot of people or in a public space? If you work in a hospital, if you catch public transit, if you work in the French Quarter, there's certain places where the energy is so much more intense, and so much more just by nature of how many people are around, or people's intentions and their energy and their mindset, let alone our own individual. So when you go into your kitchen, you want to kind of have your head in the right place of, I am creating this bath with the intention of creating a cool, clean, energetic space within me and around me. I light my candle first. Light my tea light, I place it to the side. Put my water in, cut up my lime, juice the lime, if there's bits of lime, it's completely fine. As I'm breaking off the basil, I'm tearing off. I'll just tear a little piece so you can kind of see. You're doing this with intention. So as you're pulling it off the stem, let's pull this because it's kind of find a piece that's kind of, yeah. Like this is kind of wilted, so I wouldn't really use this because this is looking really sad, as opposed to some of the other leaves that look like they could be revived. But you're pulling and you're breaking these leaves off. You're breaking them off with intention. And as you break your leaves off and you're putting them in, you've got your lime, got your holy water. Holy water, again, measure with your heart. Sometimes I'll hear things because I'm clairaudient. Sometimes I'll hear what it'll say very specifically. 7 drops. Sometimes it's just, you know, like when you cook by feel. Though it's not always a precise recipe like baking. So sometimes, you know, pour, and then I'll just get a feeling of a little bit more. There you go. You have all of the ingredients into your bath. Now you're taking those ingredients, you're taking that lime, taking that basil, you're squishing that up, almost like you're washing clothes in the sink or something. And you're releasing all the life essence of the plant material, all the juice. So all of a sudden the water's going to start to turn green. It might even go brown with the chlorophyll, and you're swirling the water. While you're doing this, you're setting your intention. You're speaking, as my godfather in the religion says, state your business. You're stating your business. And this is just speak from your heart. I'm using this bath to create a clean space. Call in your spirits. Who is that? Who's in your spiritual court? If you have angels, if you believe in angels, if you work with them, if you believe in saints, your ancestors, call in anything that is of positivity, that has its intention, that's best intentions to assist you. You set that in your mind. You call those spirits in. Sometimes I'll even have prayer cards that are close by. I work very, very closely with St. Clair. I work very closely with La Sirène and Yamaya. So I might even have their prayer cards close by. The candle is lit. Candle is a beacon. Its energy is going to call in those spirits. It illuminates also. So it creates a warm, inviting environment for the things, the spirits that we've asked to come in and help us. Water is a conduit for energy. Spirits are energy. So you're infusing this with the energy of your intention and your will, as well as whatever spirits that you've called in to come into this place. Sometimes I'll ring a bell. Bells are very good in creating spiritual cleansing, sound healing, sound cleansing. I might ring the bell, but I speak from my heart. Now, oftentimes I will say the 23rd Psalm, 23rd and 91st. Those are both really heavy hitters when you for something to remove negative energy. As a matter of fact, the 23rd Psalm, it speaks of, I prosper in spite of my enemies. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And when you pray, you want to say it like you mean this. It's not coming from this, oh my God, is this going to work? Oh my God. It's respectful, but with intention and power and confidence. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they come. Say it like you mean it. You can use the Bible. You can also use this book. It's just Psalms. This book, the Psalm Workbook, I believe is by Robert Laramie. Yes. And it has all the Psalms in it. And the Psalms are nothing but spells. So if that doesn't jive with you, though, if anything that has to do with Judeo-Christianity is going to put a negative energy because it's something that just is not for you, then don't do it. Speak from your heart. Once you've assembled the bath, your candle is lit, you're going to place it very gently on the top of the water and it will float. I like to leave my candle there for about 5-10 minutes, 15 at the most. Now the water's going to be cooling down, but when you create this bath, it can't be hot. It can't be cold, but it cannot be hot. It has to be kind of tepid water. Leaving that with the candle there, it gives a chance for the spirits to really come in. It's the beacon, now it's on top of that bath water. Bring everything into your bathroom. Set the candle to the side. Take your shower, take your bath, wash your hair. Do you do? turn off the water. Again, this is a standing bath. So you're going to start pouring the water down you. I like to scoop up a little bit because negative energy, just like whether it has a human container or it's just the energy itself that's not in a physical form, negative people who are up to no good, what do? They hide in the corners in the shadows. So energy is just energy. You want to make sure you are getting all crevices of all sorts, armpits, wherever there's a crease or a crevice, you want to splash some of this bath water in there. Then start pouring down. I sometimes will make sure you go on the back of your neck. Now this bath isn't to go on the top of your head. Sometimes I might splash a little bit on my face, a little bit on my ears, a little bit on my third eye, but you are brushing like you are repelled by something. Some people see things in their mind. They might see cloud of dust. They might see ooey gooey, like nasty, like strings or slime or oily looking stuff. Some people see chunks that fall off, but you're brushing and you're touching your physical body as well as around your body. So you are rubbing like you were, imagine it's spiritual dog hair and spiritual dust, and you want it off all the way down your body, as much on the backside as you possibly can of your body, but all the way down to your feet. Then you want to step out of the bath. Lightly pat off. If it's summertime, just air dry. After all of this brushing and lightly patting, if there happen to be pieces of basil, little bits of basil that are still left on your body, or little bits of lime, leave them. After all of that, if they're still anywhere on you, they need to be. Let them be. When you go to clean up the mess that is going to be in your bathtub, I like to take I brought a bag. I like to take like a plastic bag and paper towels. If you put your hand, if you have rubber gloves, great. If you put your hand in a plastic bag, it acts as the glove, and you've got the paper towels. You're wiping everything up. Pull it out backward out of the bag, and you've not touched any of the stuff because it's pulled so much of that negative energy. You don't really want to touch that. Clean your bathtub. Might be a nice time to use ammonia or Pine Sol. Those are two things that are oftentimes used for spiritual cleansing purposes. And tie that bag up, if you can put it outside on your porch, if that's accessible to you, that's a good idea, or at least by your front door. Then the next day when you leave, you want to take that and dispose of it in a public garbage can away from your house. Now that it's time to go to bed, you want to have white sheets. Optimal is white. White sheets, sleep in something white on your head. Beauty supply, satin bonnet, satin scarf, white dish towel, as long as it's white. If you don't have white, which is ideal, but at least light colors. Now, as you can tell from my aesthetic, not a fan of light colors or white, but in the religion, it's part of it. And this bath is based on the Haitian tradition. White, everything's bright. It's uplifting. It's clear. Nothing can hide in those shadows. Go to bed. No sex, no drugs, no alcohol. Ideal if you can be completely by yourself. Keep cool. This is not the night to watch Stranger Things. A mellow television show, or, sorry guys, I just zoned out for a second there. Something mellow, read a book. Just kind of chill out. Nobody who's stressful, no conversations with anybody who is, whether it's stressful with negativity or just high energy, everything just needs to be kind of chill. And the next day, ideally, you want to wear white or at least lighter colors. And if you can do this on a night when you don't have to go into a stressful work environment, again, like, a hospital or, the French Quarter or wherever you may work, where it might be a dark place. The shop I work in is kind of dark. Or a stressful environment. You just want to keep cool, be peaceful, be calm, be chill. How will you know if this works? You'll know. especially if you're a person who is aware of energies or is a witch or a practitioner of any kind. But even if you're not, you're going to notice a difference. You're going to feel brighter. You're going to sleep better. You might sleep longer. You might sleep less hours and wake up still super refreshed. You might, sometimes people will say, did you do something different? What's going on? Did you do something different with your hair? Is that different makeup? What's up? You look, wow, you look different. They can't put their finger on what it is because they're looking for a physical explanation, but it's the energetic change. These baths can be so beneficial. Lime is something that's very stripping. So we only use lime in maybe like every 6 months is advised. Now, again, depending upon your work environment or your living situation or what have you, you might want to do it maybe every 4 months, but no more than that. But all the rest of the components you could use once a week. The holy water, Florida water, and the basil, you could easily use that once a week. So I hope that this helps. And, just remember, put your intention into it. It can be really, really, really beneficial. Blessings to everyone. See you in the next video.